Welcome to Level M Diecast, everybody. We do have some cool stuff on tap today. We're talking super rigs, Hot Wheels super rigs. This is a little bit of smorgasbord. We're going to talk about a bunch of different ones. This is pretty much where super rigs started from. The pavement pounders back in the day. These are pretty good. This was kind of when they were transitioning to some better trucks. You see the mix on the back. This is when they had those really cheap trucks that were not very good. They didn't look very good. The model selection with them was not very great. But the flip side was they weren't exclusive. Every single one had an exclusive model, exclusive decorated, although most of them were very, very simple decos. But this is one of the newer models that they had come out with when they decided they were going to make some crazy, crazy trucks. So this guy right here, this is the Sky Spy. So we'll go ahead and get the package tore up. This is from 2001, so 23 years ago. It's quite a long time ago. So we'll get this guy slid out of there. There we go. This comes in a clamshell. Don't pay attention to that. I got in a fight with the wall, and the wall won. Let's put it that way. So we'll get the plastic torn off. There we go. Crinkly, crinkly. Get all this stuff off the studio. So this is the truck. They still do have detachable trailers. You can still pull them off. They are pretty big. The truck is pretty big. It's pretty heavy. There's quite a bit of die cast on this, shockingly. It does have an opening feature. So that does open up. There is an interior in there with kind of some engine details on the back. It says Hot Wheels. It's kind of a car setup kind of deal in the front there. Looks interesting. So pop that down there. Nothing fancy. These are proprietary wheels. They didn't use these from the main line or anything. They're just regular wheels. Kind of looks like a car from the front a little bit. This might have been from the same era that Muscle Machines were doing those muscle tuner haulers, potentially. And then this is the trailer. It does have just a little teeny ramp in the back, but the whole thing does roll back. I don't know if it tilts, though. Does it tilt? Ooh, there it goes. There we go. So there it goes. It does tilt so that you can get it on the ground, which is actually relatively flat, which looks pretty good. Just put that right on there. It does sit perfectly flat with the ground, which is pretty nice. And just slides up there. This one's probably a little bit more involved than what they would do today. It just does a Sky Spy ground support. The trailer is all plastic. There is no die cast on the trailer whatsoever, but the truck does have quite a bit of die cast on it. And then it just comes with the mission chopper. It says Sky Spy on there. It does have the blades that spread open one of these directions. Let's see if we can get them to cooperate a little bit. There we go. There we go. They're a little bit wonky. They do hit the tail rudder there in the back just a little bit. Oh, look at that. I broke one off. Just like that. Good old Hot Wheels quality from back in the day. There we go. There we go. And then just a little hook on there. But yeah, this does fold in there just like Matchbox did. So nothing new between them. It just sits on there like that. All right. And then they became truck and transporters. This is from 2003. And this is where they were really getting crazy with some of these models. They do have these containers that go down, cranes on them, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. Again, these were all exclusives as well. As you can see, that right there is a Ferrari Enzo. Not in this particular release right here, but they did have one that had an R32 as well. So there were some pretty good castings used for these back in the day. These are a little bit interesting because it's a blister on the box. So all you got to do is separate the top, which is usually relatively easy. I'm making it look way more difficult than it should be. But it's just a plastic insert in the back. So that's the way it should have just came out. Should have just popped out. I do have a couple of these. Most of all the ones that you saw in the back there I do not have. As a matter of fact, I don't think I have any of those particular. The Ferrari ones are obviously pretty difficult to come across these days for obvious reasons. This is a ginormous truck. This thing is enormous. I can't even tell you how big this thing is. It's just huge. So you saw that the Super Duty, or the what is this, Mega Duty? Mega Duty. There we go. I mean, you can see the size difference between the two of these. I mean, this truck is huge. It doesn't look all that great either. It's very fantasy, very ugly. It doesn't do anything. This one's kind of cool though, because it does have this platform that goes up and down. You can only put a really small car on the bottom if you had a second car, and if you put one on the top, it does hold it so it doesn't fall down. Looks pretty good. Just has an RR on the side, kind of an interesting logo for Roadside Rescue. As you can see, it says right there, Roadside Rescue. We lose our Mega Duty. Sorry about that. Trailer still detaches. Nothing particularly fancy. There's a little bit of intake engine detail on there. A little bit of logo detail there. These are proprietary wheels as well, specifically made for this specific purpose. So we'll move that guy. We'll put this guy over there. And then your Mega Duty, nothing particularly fancy with this. Does have 5 spokes on it. Other than that, it is an exclusive deco. Nothing particularly fancy with that guy there. Now, we're going to move up to modern day Super Rigs. Now, in my previous haul for 2024 Super Rigs, we did talk about this guy. They did re-release this one. But the tractor was yellow. This is the OG version with the orange tractor. This one's the OG. This is from 2013. There is the mix from 2013. Did have that really nice bone shaker one with the road roller. So we'll get this popped out. Like I said, this is the OG version. There's really nothing fancy with this other than the fact that this is the original version with the different colored tractor. The truck itself is going to be exactly the same. We've already talked about this. This was re-released recently. Might even have been first batch of 2024. But again, it's just nothing fancy. Just your average truck. It does come with this guy though. And it does have the opening top. And a little bit of print down in there. Just says Hot Wheels. Nothing particularly fancy. Just a drag tractor, which is kind of cool. So it sits on there relatively well. Looks pretty good. I'm just going to put that guy in the back. Put this guy in the back. We got a lot of trucks to go through, so I don't know what we'll be able to fit on the screen or not. Another one. This is the Highway Blast. This one I did not have. This is from that same mix. So again, from 2013, the Highway Blast. Pull this guy out of there. Plastics. So this guy is a car deck hauler. It says prototype H24. That's for the model that it comes with. Nice inkjet printing. There is a little ramp in the back, and then the top folds down. It is not very intuitive though. You can see how far it is off the ground. You can stick your whole finger under there. That's as close as it gets to the ground. So you have to get super creative to get the model up there. But it does hold maybe 2 models on the top if you get the right size model. But as far as inside, you're only going to be able to fit one on the inside. There is the prototype 24 that comes with it. It says Hot Wheels on there, LWC, all that good stuff like that. Nothing particularly fancy. There is the day code, which is H02. And then there is the truck. I actually didn't have this one. I didn't have any versions of this one whatsoever, which is shocking. So I thought for sure I'd have at least one version of everything. Kind of like this one. Kind of the cab forward style. Looks pretty cool. It's different. Like I said, I haven't had one of these particular ones for Super Rigs, so pretty happy to add that. So we'll put the model in the bottom. Throw that guy out there. Another one from the same mix, the Rumble Road. This is the OG version. This is the first version. They have re-released this purple one before. This one is a little bit different card art. It only shows 3 models on the back. This one's a little bit different. That's the same one we saw from earlier. We do have this one though, right there. So we're going to take a look at this one. We'll pull this out of there. Set the model out. Set this packaging off to the screen just for 1 second. There we go. Comes with this guy. I don't remember what this guy's called. The Quicksand. Nothing particularly fancy. It just says Hot Wheels Racing on it, number 68. In orange with those nice off-road wheels. Looks pretty good. This is a very interesting truck. The top section here is actually clear plastic. You can see through there. It's kind of like a ramp. It says danger on the side. It's in purple. Hot Wheels Racing looks pretty good. This truck's pretty beefy. Kind of like the headlight setup, which looks pretty cool. It's an interesting truck. Those are painted on for the horn details and stuff at the top. And then just has a little ramp that folds down in the back. Nothing fancy. So we'll put that guy on there. And he does fit on there, which is pretty nice. So throw that guy out there. We got a second color for that guy. Second color for Rumble Road does include the same model, just a different deco. Another one that I didn't have. There is this particular mix. The Road Roller again, twice. Two different colors. So we'll crack this guy open here. Get him out. Sometimes that blister sticks. There we go. Exact same model we just looked at, just a different deco. See a little bit more detail on the truck with it not being so dark colored. It does have a clear window in there. So I don't really know if there's much of an interior, but it's pretty hefty. This truck's pretty hefty. It does have some heft to it. Again, there is no metal on the trailer. It's all plastic. This one looks a little bit better though. It looks a little bit more like a mud jump, which is kind of cool. And then just the same quicksand with gold interior, which is very nice. Gold interior to match the truck. And then just a purple window. It's an interesting look to it. I do like it though. It's different. I like things that are a little bit different. So we'll throw that guy out there. Another one here. This one is Rock and Race. This one has also been re-released. Although I do not have a version of this one, which is weird. Not too many I don't have versions of. But every once in a while I come across them. So we'll pull this guy out here. Dump him out. There is this particular mix. The Road Rally. I think I have a Road Rally. I think so. And I definitely do not have that Rock and Race. I think I have a Road Rally. I'm not sure. It is my goal to at least have one of every single release or one of every single casting at minimum. This one is super cool. It's like a slammed super custom build with this ridiculous V12 engine on there. Just looks super cool. Says Hot Wheels Transport on the side, number 3. Again, a giant ramp for the actual car hauler. It is all plastic again. And then just a little ramp piece. This one is a little bit different because you lift it up and then it comes down. So kind of an interesting look. But it does go all the way to the ground at least. Although the car that it comes with, it takes a whole lot of effort to get it up there. Which is interesting. This model right here, this is the Governor. So I remember when this was a brand new casting, when it was in black, there was a stripe variation on the side. It was pretty sought after back in the day. Nowadays it's not worth nothing. It's like maybe $1 car, maybe. So throw that guy out there. All right, we got our first Comparo because we do like to Comparo. So this is the OG version of this particular deco for the Rig Dog in the gold and clear trailer with the clear transparent wheels. This is the mix on the back. The Double Demon, I do have one of those, which is a super cool one. Road Roller, again, Road Rally, Rig Dog, as we just saw. And then the Highway Blast, we've already cracked that open, Rumble Road. So, pretty much have that whole release now. However, that one was re-released not that long ago. This is the re-released version. So I have the re-released version, so we actually get to do a little bit of a comparo. So we'll crack the OG version out real quick. Get the plastic out of here. So we're going to separate the trucks and the trailers. Oh man, sometimes they're just brutal. We'll separate the vehicle. All right. So this is the OG version right here. It says Hot Wheels 28 on there. Has a gold door on the back. This is the re-released one here on the top. It does not have a gold door. So that was a big difference. The re-released one there on the top as well has a different blue for the base. So significantly different. They do both have the same clear wheels though, and the same deco on them. So those parts are exactly the same, but the rest of the trailers are different, especially with that back door there. with the re-released one. And then on these two here, the original version, before I get myself mixed up, the N40A is your original version, and then the top one is our re-released. So the top one is the new one. The blue is significantly lighter on the re-released version. You can see the difference there between the two blues. And then just the pit crew, it's a little bit different print. Number 28 is a little bit different print as well. So just a little bit of a different style, but they're the same deco, just a little bit of a different style with the font and stuff like that. So a little bit different. The wheels and stuff are exactly the same between the two though. So we'll get the trailer popped back on, that guy, trailer popped back on for that guy. This is the original version right here of this model. The original one on the bottom, the re-released, is on the top. They do have the blues to match the trailer. So the original one is the lighter blue, new one darker blue on the top. And then of course the new one on the top also uses black wheels instead of the clear wheels. So big difference there. A little bit of base difference as well. They changed the font and it went from Thailand to Malaysia. So pretty significant change between the two of those. I do like when there's that big of a change between them. So throw those two up there. Stacking them up. There's just so many. All right, our next Comparo. This is the original version of the Galactic Express, which looks pretty good. It does come with the Mad Manga, which is pretty cool, in purple. So we'll set that down there. This is the newest version. This is the brand newest 2024 Mix B Galactic Express. This is in the newest mix. This is the mix right here. We do have the Scuba Dub driver. That is a carry forward from the first case. Big Rig Heat. We do have that one. That is a re-release model. Turbulent Sug, brand new deco. Straight Freightin', brand new deco. Galactic Express, there is a change on it. And then we do have the Highway Blast. Like I mentioned, I didn't even have a Highway Blast. That one is in blue. The one that we cracked just a minute ago was in red. So let's just go ahead and get into this Midnight Express. Get this guy cracked out of there. Now, there's not going to be too many differences on this one. This is the newest version, the 2024 version. Now, one thing I will point out, this is a big deal. So I know you guys can't see this on the screen, but I want to point this out. So on the top is the original version of this casting. On the bottom is the new version. So I don't know if they're going to retool all of the Super Rigs to use the universal hitch style that they're coming out with. This is the same hitch style that Matchbox uses. Same hitch style that they used in the trailer for the Team Transport. But it looks like that is a possibility that they may be updating everything. As far as the casting goes, this new one here on the bottom, you see there is way less chrome on it. The wheels are also different. The original one had Steely wheels. This new one has the PR5s. And then, of course, the casting's been changed as well. The horns were part of the casting. They are now, or I'm sorry, they were part of the window, and now they are part of the casting. And then as far as the front details, a little bit different on the top as well. So they actually added a little bit of metal to the new version, which is interesting. Also, wanted to point this out too. The new version is a gray trailer, and the original one is chrome. So you do lose out on the chrome trailer. The prints are the same between the two, but significant difference between them. And then, of course, there is that change to the Kingpin, one versus the other. So that could be good news, but could be bad news at the same time for people who like to mix and match their Super Rigs. And then, of course, this right here is your original Mad Manga. This is the new one at the top. Couple of base updates, nothing particularly fancy between the two of them. Again, the one on the top is the newest one. Details are going to be exactly the same on the prints, so nothing particularly fancy with that. So we'll set those guys to the side. All right, the Rig Heat. Now I don't have the original version of this release, so this is a new one for me. I'm just happy to have this. It does have a Treasure Hunt logo on there. It's not a treasure hunt. It's just in the case. It's nothing particularly fancy, but it does have a treasure hunt logo on there. So we'll get this cracked open. I did not have this one. I've been looking for the purple one for a while. I'll have to search down the OG version. So, see this guy. Ugh, man, can't even get the trailer off. Literally can't even get the trailer off. But that guy uses the existing trailer hitch with the ball. You can see it down in there, so I can't even get that off. This is a super cool truck. This is like a futuristic racing truck. I've always liked this one. Thought the rig heat was pretty good. I don't like this deco though. I just don't think it looks pretty good, but it's okay. It's okay. The trailer's pretty futuristic as well. There is a little bit of a ramp inside there. You can't get up to it from the ground, but there is a ramp in there. And it just holds this guy right here, which is this Street Fighter or Stealth Fighter type vehicle. XO 119 maybe? I don't know. But it looks meh. It's meh. I don't like the model, but that's okay because when you put it in there, you can't even see it. It's just hidden down in there, so not too shabby. Again, not too much in the way of metal, just a little bit on the trailer, but pretty dismal. I know, it's not fitting on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. All right, next up from that 2024 case, there it is, Highway Blast in blue. This is a re-release. However, like I said, I didn't have one of these at all, so I happened to get an old school red one. And now this blue one, they are the same deco. It's just red versus blue. They do have the exact same model with them as well. So nothing to compare because this is, it's not, you know, this is the blue version versus the red version. So no comparo needing to be done. This does have the PR5s on it. This is, again, 2024 B case. I think it's the B case. But it's the newest Super Rig case to drop. Does have a clear blue top on there, clear blue for the ramp as well. Still has all the same functionalities. Still has the same old school hitch. So maybe it's just the Galactic Express. Maybe it's just the ones that they have to maybe retool for whatever reason. I'm not really sure. But there we go. All right, brand spanking new for 2024. Brand spanking new. As a matter of fact, let's move some of these rigs so we can actually set this guy down. Make a little bit of space in the studio. I know there's so many trucks. Oh, man. I'm going to figure out where to put all these trucks. We got a little bit of space in there. All right, so straight freighting. This was a new model in the last case. This is a new deco for this model for this case, which looks pretty good. Again, this is the mix. It's the same mix, so nothing particularly fancy. Now, I will say I do find it a little odd that the new castings don't have that new kingpin hitch. So I'm not really sure why. Like, these use all the existing style of hitch, so I'm not really sure why the Galactic Express was updated. But anyways, it says Hot Wheels Transportation System, HWTS. It's in kind of a digital green camo. Looks pretty good. Again, not a new casting at this point, but a new casting in the last mix. Of course, these trailers, they just attach to each other, and you can just add them and add them and add them and add them. And you can make a giant train with them. There is the deco on the side, nothing particularly fancy. A bit of number detail on there. Get that to focus a little bit. Sorry about that. Max capacity is 80,000 pounds, it says. 80,000 pounds. It's a big guy. And then it comes with this guy. This is like the Dune Crusher or something. Yep, Dune Crusher. Looks pretty good. Does have a plastic body, metal base. But it matches it. Looks pretty good. HWTS. Nothing particularly fancy. Of course, you only get one model. You get two trailers, but only one model, which is fine. And then the big guy. This was actually a pretty big hit in the first mix. The Turbulence Tug. That one came in kind of a military fighter deco deal. Brand new casting for 2024. This is a new deco for 2024. This is the second release. Put it together and it is a plane, just like it shows on there. And it comes with another plane to go on the plane. So you have plane on plane inception. So we'll get this cracked out. This one actually, takes a little bit of assembly. And I'm sure it takes a little bit of effort to package this in the factory as well. So the model itself is basically a tug And this is just basically meant to tow it around. But it looks pretty good. There is the details on the top. It says keep clear. It says Hot Wheels on there. Looks pretty good. I like the big, huge, crazy motors on the side. It's very low slung. Of course, it has to be, so it could be a tug. Looks pretty good. Turbulence. This is the trailer. It is all plastic except for a little bit of metal right there around the wheels. Very, very nice. Look at the print that goes around and to this side. Now that is done with 2 passes, but man, that works. It lines up perfectly. You can see right where the brake is. But man, that looks so good. You can see the bottom there is just a little bit different black because it's printed separately, but man, it looks good. They actually did a really good job printing that. There is the details on the side. Hot Wheels graphics, Heat Racing, Han, all that good stuff like that. TT 6819 on there. Some warning, keep clear, all that good stuff like that. Intakes. And of course, it's 68 because everything is 68 with Hot Wheels. I get it. You came from 1968. I get it. Like, it's fine. You slot the wings in the side. The print up, I believe. I don't think it really particularly matters which direction you put them in. There you go. There we go. So that's the way it should go. It's a relatively large plane. It looks okay. It's actually not bad. It's not a bad piece. But it comes with this little plane right here with just the little blade on the back. Nothing particularly fancy. They have a name for it. It's called the Poison Arrow. Now this is specifically made, just like a lot of these are, to specifically hold this specific model in those little notches right there, there, and there. So it holds it in there just fine. It's not going to fall off. Looks pretty good. And of course you just attach the tug back to it. And then you would just tow it around. Just like that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I like super rigs because they're so ridiculous, like ridiculously out there. So I'm not even going to try to get these back on the studio. There's like 30 trucks out here, I feel like. Actually, there's only like 20, but there you go. Brand new 2024 mix, old school super rigs, a whole good smorgasbord of mix, all kinds of stuff like that. Super convoy. I know it's a little unorganized. It just, these take up so much space in the studio. It is ridiculous. So anyways, drop a comment on those. Let me know what you guys think about those. Let me know what you think about super rigs. And of course, the older super rigs, where the super rigs came from. Of course, what we're talking about. So anyways, we're going to roll out. Super behind in videos. I got to get caught back up. So great stuff coming just right around the corner. We'll see you next time on Level M.